You look like the Spider-Man filter. So, like, that's a normal... So let's break that down. That would be a normal sentence in that sense, that the subject of the sentence is me. I'm the... You look like the Spider-Man filter. The thick lines? You mean these? I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't shaved in a little bit, but it's not that intense. You know, I was actually talking about this with a friend of mine. For reference, I was talking to a very dear friend to me. We're very on and off, meaning eyebrows and nose. Ah, thank you. I have a rare genetic disorder. It's called Italian American. I got it. It's genetic. I was talking to a friend. It's really funny because she started the conversation by sending me a post. Basically, me when I get to like catch up with my long distance, low maintenance friend or whatever. Because we'll go like basically like 4 months at a time without talking to each other, and then they'll be like, best friend. Happens all the time. And we were talking about this, and I'll give you a hint. Out of the two people in this conversation, one of these people shaves their armpit hairs, and one of them doesn't. It's not her. So she's telling me this, and I'm like, I don't know, man. I choose to shave them. You know, it's very simple. It's like, I'm such a hairy individual. It's to the point where I'm allowed to have opinions daily on like, I wish there just wasn't this much. like I don't mind my arms. I like that I have hair on my hands in like a cool little swirly thing. I think that's cool. I think like this general area of chest hair, there are many different kinds of chest hair. I'm lucky with the chest hair that I got, frankly. Right? But at the same time, do I like the rest of it? No. I had like you can't even see it. This like weird specific like tuft that just like spawns right, like this is just such a weird place to have hair. It's so fucking annoying. You think frogs know they're frogs? I think if they did, they'd be a lot happier. I think frogs know other things are not frogs. In that same sense, we also know that other things are not English. Now imagine being a black woman. I personally, I don't believe in a god, so I don't often think of a black woman. But, what's that one? What is it? The anime, is it anime Thomas Jefferson? No, it's Miku Binder. I have to nair my entire body twice a month. Every time I get in the shower, I think, do I do it? Do I do it? And keep in mind, this is me coming from like an incredibly progressive stance of literally don't care. Girl got body hair? Good, sister. Me too. Let's braid it. You know what I mean? It's like you can't really pay to care about these kinds of things. Instead, it's like these horrible intersectional problems of like, race and gender and economic positions that forces certain people to just shave themselves bald for, we're made to feel uncomfortable about it, right? Joey braids his back hair. So close. It's on my back, but it's a little further down. Now I only do it so men buy me stuff at the club and Costco. At Costco! Hey, baby. You like what you see? There's a guy with bagel chip samples. Just need you to finagle him a little for me. me trying to rizz up the fucking they Wow, I wasn't ready for that. I'd be in Kroger in a mini skirt. I don't care. See what I mean? I have days where I'll get in the shower. I say this because I like so recently think about these things where it's just like I don't have a single bar of soap. Okay, let me say it like this. Let me say it like this, right? I take showering. I love showering. I love it quite a lot. I have a specifically. Why is Deltarune $25? Does Toby think I'm stupid? It's a we've had Fancy. We've had this discussion, right? So I have a body wash. I have a bar of soap. I have conditioner. I have a body scrub. I have shower oil. I love showering. I'm all over consumer. I'm super like over consumption core when it comes to showering for some reason. Frankly, that's just because I'll get in the shower and I'll do like three things, and I'll just be like, I feel like I didn't do enough. I feel like I didn't do enough. He does not use shampoo. I don't. I condition twice. I condition twice. Do you pluck your eyebrows? Yes, I do. When I remember to. I actually have no idea where my tweezers are right now because I moved from my apartment back to my parents' house for summer. So the second I find that, it's going. I used to get bullied. W there, very angular. I actually only get this area. So that is very kind of you to say. It's actually specifically given you of all people. It's very, very, thank you for saying that. I have an eyebrow slit because I'm cool and bisexual. Well, you're one of those things. And it's cool. Me sucking the bisexual. Wait. Abort. Stop it. Whoa. We're just talking about shower. I didn't even get to the part that I wanted to say, which was that I have a bar of soap. I love soap. There is this one brand called Buff City Soap. I love Buff City Soap. The Buff City Soap in my town left. It was there for like barely. Do I have a girlfriend? No. We were so close to it. And then I lost it. And so now I don't get to have really fancy vegan soaps anymore. And I wish I did. What about a boyfriend? I am not gay. But I appreciate you asking. No. We're single and ready to cry. So I don't have a single bar of soap that is like not covered in hair. Joey, do you wash your body with that bar of soap? No! Just this. And that bar of soap is covered in hair. Just covered. And it's like, don't worry, I'm not stupid. I know it's all this. Do men not use washcloths? I'm going to say this in a very... come on, what happened here? For the record, if you think my hair looks a little bad, it's because I haven't gotten a haircut. I haven't gotten a haircut in a very long time. And that's what causes, like... I get literal, like... I don't know even what to call this. I look like if you guys saw the concept art for Wa Peach, basically. As washcloths up... So I didn't want to say this. Fancy. But basically, if there was a Venn diagram... Wait, that's not how you use Venn diagrams, is it? Okay, basically what I'm trying to say is the kind of person that uses washcloths in the shower is the same kind of person who washes their chicken. If you know what I'm saying. Because... that is not, like, that's a very sweeping generalization to make about, like, this is a black thing, this is a white thing. Instead, there are certain cultural practices that we all kind of have, and that kind of groups us into certain stuff, right? So, like, it's just me trying to find a more polite way of saying, yeah, see, exactly. You see what I mean? There is a specific demographic of people that wash their chickens, because that's how they were raised. They had your children. Exactly. For the record, no, I don't wash my chicken. I just pat it dry. Mostly because I don't feel like going through all that food prep effort, and mostly because the science of it is like completely on my side. But also, I would literally never tell someone, "Don't wash your chicken. That's so stupid." Because frankly, again, people do it for a good reason. B, and most importantly to me, it's a cultural thing. People that don't wash their rice are dumb though, or lazy like me. Sometimes I don't. I literally just when I'm lazy. Joey, washcloths are for everyone. I agree with you. Got to use Ajax apple flavor. So I'm not gonna lie to you. My roommate was that kind of guy who used a washcloth in the shower because we shared a shower, and so he used a washcloth when he cleaned. And every time I look at it, I go like, I know I should probably be doing that too. Just say black. Well, he wasn't. Well, he was Puerto Rican, I think. I'm not I'm not really the kind of person that people are coming to for race discussions, nor do I hold or should hold any genuine weight in that conversation. So, at that same time, we claim them. Lovely. I think that's beautiful. And I told him, I said, I don't wash my chicken. I think it's great that you do. I use a washcloth, Joey. I'm whiter than white out. Well, I'm not saying like I don't want to use it because I don't need to. I'm just saying, just don't. There's a good way to transition here. Basically, the reason I don't smoke blunts, right? Like, there used to be this cognition about me. Every one of you have known me for barely a year. You don't even know me. But the people in my life that did knew me as a almost complete straight edge individual. Now, why is that? That's because I like. Okay, Chad. I'm gonna tell you what. I would like to use a washcloth when I shower. I'm gonna start using a washcloth when I shower because I like being clean, and I think that's a good thing. But I usually just use my hands, or I have a scrub brush to like for my back. I have one of those because I'm not a very limber. I'm not very limber, so I can't really do that. And it's not even because I've got like arms, I guess you could say. It's just I'm not trying to, right? But basically, there was this cognition of me because I was vehemently against under underage drinking. I just was. There are people in my life that did, and I saw them, and I didn't like them for. I didn't like that they did that, and so I told myself as a kid, I don't want to do that then, and that's what I do. That's what I did. The first drop of alcohol that I ever had in my life, I kid you not, was my like 21st birthday. It might not have been my 21st birthday. It might have been like a week or so later at my birthday party, where my friends obviously brought alcohol to celebrate. I use the antibacterial. I use the antibacterial soap, then a body wash, then lotion, and then just sit and let it sit and wash it off. I love that. I want to do that. Is that weird to say? I want to do that. I love showering. Underage drinking relates to you not using a washcloth in the shower. Yes, you just need to hold on for a second. All right, chat. And for the record, the reason I say that specifically is because a rich New Jersey Italian boy, I'm like not those things. At best, I'm an Italian boy. Where do you think this wealth comes from? I've been working since I was like 13, and most of my money has gone into knickknacks and video games. I accidentally gave out alcohol to minors in university. Type shit, shawty. We love that. But me, I didn't, right? So, since I don't smoke and I don't do a lot of that stuff, the second I turned the age of which I was allowed to, I did. Because my problem wasn't with alcohol, right? I've had alcohol on stream. It's not that big of a deal to me. However, weed and other drugs are like slightly more of a nuance for me, where alcohol is easier for me to do than drugs. Just because, and this is entirely true. One of the biggest reasons I did not drink or do anything like that in when I was a kid, just didn't want to. I just did not have a voice in the back of my head that said, "Let me go out and get like a beer with my friends." Mostly because my kind of people were the people that were too busy playing video games and like Dungeons and Dragons, and we didn't really do that stuff until we turned 21, where now we could do that and drink alcohol and shit, which is awesome. My dad bought me Trulies, and I thought it was sparkling water, so I gave it out to people at my dorm. They put me on the Asian floor because I'm mixed, but all my friends got on the black floor. They was segregating y'all? That's more concerning. I would hate if I was, for the record, I would fucking hate if I was on a floor of just white dudes. I would have killed myself. I was so lucky to be on the floor with fucking Greek women, Latinos, fucking Puerto Ricans. My roommate was Albanian. There were so many different people and tribes, and it was awesome because whenever they needed a big pot, they came to me because I'm Italian and I make sauce, so I always had a big pot. And so one of my roommates would come over and she would ask, "Hey, can you get a pot? I want salsa. I want to make salsa." And then I'd get her salsa. And multiculturalism is the fucking best, right? The best. And then, you know, my other roommates would give me their unused kimchi and I'd fucking it was literally, there was no losing. I was so great. It was so great. But what I'm trying to get to is, damn, if someone told me I seemed like I was from Jersey, I'd jump off a bridge. Unfortunately, I did tell you that, and I'm actually very shocked that you're not from New Jersey. The Asian one is for international students who don't speak English, and they made me help them, and I got stalked by the hot Chinese guy next door. So, and say it with me, chat. So that's why she's into yaoi. I'm from Gary, Indiana. What are you doing? Right? So basically what I'm trying to get to is I don't really do drugs a lot. I don't smoke. I don't really take edibles. I don't really like do any of that stuff. Mostly because I just don't want to. But also, and this is the really big thing, I'm not going to spend money on that. You think I'm fucking stupid? I'm not going to spend the money on that. I don't want to spend money on weed. I don't even want to spend money on alcohol. I don't want to spend, like, it's literally that simple. If I was rich, maybe I would, but no. And even if I was a million, I just think I wouldn't. I just think it's to the point where I've like basically raised myself to not want to do that stuff. So now that like, you know, my roommate will come to me and be like, "Hey dude, you want an edible?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah." I was like very obviously off of an edible on one of my streams. I won't say which, but it was recent enough that it should still frankly be in the Twitch archive. That's how comfortable we are, right? I do edibles every day. It helps me write. I wrote 50K words yesterday, but I also didn't sleep. Yes. So true, baby. So true. Right. So that's the point that I'm now finally going to get to is I don't smoke blunts because it's like very embarrassing. I can't. I just don't know how to smoke things because I never have. Joey, your hair is so fine right now, and I thought you should know. That is very sweet of you to say thank you. Especially because my barber / hairstylist left me on red yesterday. So I'm going to need to find a new one. Because it was a very awkward interaction. And I kind of don't want to... You know, he just lost a customer. Yeah, so basically, my friends see me as... It's very interesting, right? Because the people that met me in my first year of college, do you like girls who like yaoi and farming games? Are you, like, actively shopping for a boyfriend? I'm sorry to let you down. But thank you. I needed that. Game is game. Game is game, chat. I met Coney and Mars. I don't know who those are. But, right. So basically, now I have now I have this cognition of me where they know I have alcohol in my fridge. They know I drink. They know I love me a good beer here and there. But they don't recognize why I don't smoke or why I don't do this. And so they'll be like, "Hey man, you want to come smoke something with me?" And I'll be like, "Oh no, that's okay." "Hey man, you want to go? You want to we're gonna go light up and smoke. You want to come with us?" And I'm like, "No, that's okay, that's okay." But then the second somebody hands me like an edible, they're like, "Hey dude, do you want to take a gummy?" I'm like, "Oh hell yeah!" And they're like, "You what?" And I'm like, I in fact do enjoy recreational drug use from time to time because I'm not a nun, but thank you. And I like, to be fair, again, I have no qualms with this shit anymore. In fact, I used to be very staunch against weed, but that was because I was 14. So really, all of my opinions when I was 14 don't matter. But like, it was one of my friend's birthdays at the dormitory, and this friend was a total fucking pothead. He smoked pretty much anything that could fit in a wrapping paper. And so he went out, and they were like, "Hey man," and they were passing around. And so they got to me, and I was like, "Yeah." And so I took it. Don't know how to do it. But they were like, "Whoa, Joey, you're going to smoke this blunt, Joey?" And I was like, "Yeah. I just don't do it because I don't want to." Like, no, I'm not gonna die if I do it. I'm doing it right now because it's your birthday. It's a sign of respect. Who's gonna pass on the chief on your birthday, brother? So you like the way it makes you feel? You legit just don't know how to smoke? Yeah, pretty much. And so one of the reasons I do that is because it's very socially embarrassing, and I've cornered myself with this cognition of everyone being like, first of all, "Oh my god, guys, look, we're gonna watch Joey smoke a blunt," and I don't know how, and I'm like, and I like suck at it. And so basically, the reason I don't want to use a washcloth is for the same reason where now there's all this attention to it. Everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I didn't know you washed with a washcloth," and I'm like, and like the shower police are gonna come and like open my curtain, and then they're gonna be like, "Here's your washcloth, Mr. LaBelle. Show us how you use it." And I'm gonna be like butt ass naked, and my like 13-inch penis, 14-inch penis, 7-inch penis, 2-inch penis is gonna be like, "Ah, don't look!" And then they're gonna be like, "Show us how you wash," and I'm not gonna be able to do it correctly, and they're gonna take my shower. That's why I'm too nervous to use a washcloth. 1 inch. So you just used a washcloth the same way you use your hand. Okay. Do me a solid. Do you wash it after the shower? The connection isn't there. Well, then you go live. And you tell your story. "I spoke out against showering. You could have washed so much more if you only had time." Where can I post a pic in your Discord? I guess anywhere, really, right? It's the gallery is for art. Media and links is just for like general things. Nobody really, I mean, we're too small to really like generally need that much policing. We only really had 2 gooner alerts that we had to kick people out for. I don't use washcloths because I don't know how to smoke, and I'm scared people are going to watch me shower. No, I'm scared because I don't know how to use it. I don't want to use it wrong, and then I don't know I'm using it wrong, and I don't want to do research because it's scary. Joey, she wants to show you her Hello Kitty outfits. I don't want to be impolite, but like, that's... Hey Chad, congratulations. We've hit a whopping 26-minute, 43-second long cold open. round of applause for everybody involved. I think you've all done wonderfully. Joey, it's okay. Just say you're good. I fear Hello Kitty girls. They're just a scary genre of human being. And that's okay, because that doesn't mean that they're a bad genre of human being. In the same way that I almost just said, I really, truly, had I not stopped myself for 5 seconds, almost compared Hello Kitty girls to Republicans. Was there no other group you could think of, Joey? Disney adults, I guess. Hell yeah, there are. Right? Okay. Okay. I'm calm. Is this the Yowie Master? This is what the Yowie Master looks like?
I just wanted to show the trip off. Oops, my ants get all over my phone. Oops. Just have to swag off on them.
So, I would love to go out of my way right now to tell you that you seem wonderful and that you are a genuinely beautiful person. I personally love the dress. I love the reds. I love the stars. I think that's great. I actually thought you were at a Ren fair for like the first 5 seconds of the video before it like zoomed out and it showed like the entire outfit. Beautiful, truly beautiful. I love your hair. However, women scary. Part of me wants to know them. The other part knows in reality I'd be uncomfortable and would need to find another connection. I have met. I'd like. You don't understand. Do you think me, of all people, has not been with a Hello Kitty girl? Chad, you don't know my romantic past. You don't know shit about me. Your preconceived notion of what I am is such a beautifully crafted narrative of this one guy. I once dated I in high school, I once dated a black woman who said that Italians were the blackest white people and could say the N-word. I had math class that day. I've been a lot of things. Smart is rarely one of them. Was it me? No, Fancy, it was not you. I would like to assume normal people don't talk like that. I think is this even worth revealing about me? I've been saying the Punisher is black. Loki woke. I like that. I actually like that. I don't. Oh, that makes me really. That gives me a lot to think about. Put your headphones back on, Joey. Yeah. Put your headphones back on, Joey. Play the video game, Joey. Is this the wrong? Yeah, this is right here. Joey, last I checked, you were not in a Bronx Tale. Yeah, but I could have been, and that's sweet, right? Logo. But done.